So we know how to use Power BI Pro, but now we want to access our data from mobile devices, so tablets and mobile phones basically. The Power BI mobile app is this one right here that you can see on my screen. It's totally for free and it's available for both Apple devices and Android devices. Here I'm using an Apple device, so I'm in the App Store. You can of course find the same app also in the Google Play Store. Now here, make sure to download this app first and then to open it once the download finished. There you then can find this menu here. Here you must select Power BI in the left part at the top and enter your email address and the corresponding password that you used for the Power BI Pro project that we worked on in this module. Once the sign-in was successful, you should see the following screen. So here I don't share the usage and performance information, so you can decide if you want to do this. And then we press continue. Here we get some information about how to get started with the mobile app, but we'll explore this together now. So I'll click onto the X in the left upper part of the screen now. And this brings us to the starting page of the Power BI mobile app. And I don't want to allow Power BI to send notifications at this point. Now what you can see here is the quick access area of this app, and if you look at the left lower part of the page, you see that this is actually the house, the home house that we know from the Power BI Pro interface. You can also see this in the upper center part of the app that we are now in the home menu. So this is basically your starting menu summarizing your most frequently used and your most recently used dashboards and reports in our case. If we select the star next to the house in the navigation bar at the bottom, then we see that this is our favorites. You remember we selected the first Pro report as a favorite at the beginning of the Pro module. And next to this symbol, we have our apps. So as you can see already, the structure is actually the same or almost the same as we had it in the Pro interface. We unpublished our app in the last lecture, or 2 lectures ago to be more precise. Therefore, we don't have any apps in here. If we would have access to specific apps, we would see these apps in here. The next option, right to the apps, is the Workspaces menu, also organized in the same way as we know it from our Pro interface. Besides that, we have these 3 horizontal dots next to the Workspaces, so to the right of it. If we click onto the 3 horizontal dots right here, you can see menus you know already. For example, the Shared with Me menu, exactly the same as we know it again from the Pro app, from the Pro interface in the cloud, to be more precise. We have another interesting thing here, and that's the samples option. If you click onto that, you can find, well, different example projects here to give you a better overview of the interface and of the usage of this Power BI mobile app. You can, for example, click on to customer care here, and with that you get access to different visuals. If you scroll through these, you see this is basically the look that we know from Power BI throughout all this course. I will not dive too deep into these samples here. Feel free to do so on your own. We'll go back with the arrow in the left upper part of the screen, and then we'll navigate back to the workspaces, so to the option left of the 3 vertical dots right here. Here we can now access our workspace or our collaboration workspace, and I will access the second option, so this collaboration workspace here. And in there, you now get access to the dashboards and the reports. By the way, if you click onto the lower arrow next to course collaboration work here, like this, you can quickly switch back to the workspaces and with that select a different one, so the navigation is really easy in this mobile app. But let's go to the collaboration workspace once again, and here you can switch between the dashboards and the reports right here and right there. We don't have a dashboard, or we just have an empty dashboard for the Power BI Pro Start project. Therefore, we could access the Collab demo dashboard right here. Here you get the dashboard as we know it. If you click onto the arrow next to Collab Demo Dashboard in the headline, like this, you see you get a view with less options, so you just get the view for the entire dashboard without any additional options below it. If you click onto the 3 dots next to the dashboard, you have interesting options. You can open the report, so we can dive deeper. You can expand the tile, so to make it bigger in the end. Or the third option that I will select now, you can add comments to it. So you can comment on a specific visual, and with that, start a conversation with your colleagues who might also have access to this visual, to this dashboard. Let's close this now by clicking onto the X though. And if we now click onto the arrows in the right upper part of the screen, you see that the lower navigation bar appears. Here you also have the option to add comments, to mark this as a favorite, or this is the little human symbol with the plus you can see in the lower part of the screen, which I'm clicking now. Here you can invite other people to access your dashboard. Important, you can see a warning here that if you share this dashboard, the people can of course also see the underlying information, meaning people who get access to this dashboard can also access the underlying report. That's important to know, but if you want to do this, then you can share data from this mobile app. Let's press cancel though here. And let me show you one last thing in this dashboard, because you saw this expand tile option here in the 3 horizontal dots. You can also expand the tile if you just click onto the visual, then you get this more interactive view of it. So you can now play around here with the legend. And as you can see, the visual dynamically changes depending on the data visualized in the center. You can also click into the visual. This has the same effect in the end. So this is what you can do with dashboards here. Let's go back again with the arrow in the left upper part of the screen once and twice. And now I would like to change to the reports here. In the reports, we will now access our Power BI Pro Start report, so the first one here. And now you see that the, way our data is displayed changes a bit. Now we first can configure if Power BI wants to get access. Yes, I will allow the access while we're using the app. And now we are inside our report. You can navigate through the report page, so you can move it up and down. If you move it down, you see some additional options appear. You can click into the visual as you know it, and if you do so, you get additional options with the 3 horizontal dots in the right upper part of the visual. If you click onto these, you see some interesting options, but the most interesting one is actually here the visual level filters one. There you can now specify the filters of this visual. These are the default filters that we set, but you can of course also change these. If you click right here, then you could, for example, select additional countries which should be displayed. I'm okay with Germany though, so I won't change this here. Besides that, next to this filter, which is now also highlighted in our lower navigation bar, you also have the option to access different report pages. That's the symbol to the left of the 3 horizontal dots here. So if you click onto this, you can see that you can easily navigate between the different pages. For example, we can go to our overview page here. Now we have this page. If the bar at the bottom is not what you like at this stage, just click onto the arrow in the right upper part next to the magnifier symbol like this. With that, you get more space to visualize that charts. And as you know it from the desktop application and from Power BI Pro, you can of course now use the slicer, for example, to select different years, or you can click into the visual to select only specific regions, for example. And the behavior is exactly the same that we defined in Power BI Desktop or in Power BI Pro. So interactions are of course also working here. That's it about the report. So let's click onto the arrow in the left upper part once and twice to come back to this menu here. And if we now go back once again to our workspaces, we are actually already done with our mobile app experience. You can of course dive deeper here if you want to, but the core thing I would like to show you is that this app is basically structured equally to all the tools we used so far. So you remember the interface from Power BI Desktop, the logic how visuals work. You saw the Pro interface, which is very much aligned to the mobile app interface. Therefore, the important takeaway here is that if you know how to use Power BI Pro, you also know how to use this mobile app. And the awesome thing about this mobile app really is that you can access all your workspaces, any shared reports and even apps, and that you can also share data from this app with other people. With that, I want to conclude this module about the whole collaboration and sharing topic in Power BI Pro and Power BI Mobile. So, as in every module, what is missing now is a wrap-up to summarize what we learned throughout this module.